Imagine finding something in your backyard, something so strange that it changes your life forever. That's exactly what happened to two young boys of the Robson family in the small town of Hexham, England. They unearthed two peculiar stone heads while playing in their garden, and what followed were a series of events so bizarre and terrifying that they continue to puzzle experts to this day. These are the Hexham Heads. In 1971, the two young boys of the Robson family were digging in the back garden of their home in Hexham when they discovered two small, carved stone heads. They were no masterpieces, basic humanoid faces with little pointy noses about the size of a tennis ball. Shortly after bringing the heads into their home, things took a dark turn. Household objects were found inexplicably broken, and the heads themselves seemed to move on their own, as if possessed by some unseen force. But the strangest incident occurred late one night, when the terrifying events extended to one of their neighbors, who reported similar disturbances in her home and disturbingly witnessed a half-man, half-beast creature enter her bedroom. The creature, indifferent to her screams, walked down the stairs on what seemed like hind legs, and then disappeared, leaving the front door wide open. Terrified by these unexplained events, and with the heads becoming quite the local curiosities, the Robson family turned them over to Dr. Anne Ross, an expert in Celtic artifacts. Dr. Ross took the heads into her home, intending to compare them to other similar objects in her collection. But just a few nights later, she awoke in the middle of the night to find a strange creature standing in her bedroom doorway. The figure was tall, about 6 feet, and appeared half-human, half-wolf, covered in dark fur. Compelled by an unknown force, Dr. Ross chased the creature, hearing it descend the stairs before it vanished completely, much like what the Robson family's neighbor had reported. The bizarre events didn't end there. Dr. Ross's daughter, Bernice, later encountered a similar figure after coming home from school. She saw a werewolf-like creature leaping down the stairs and into a corridor before disappearing. Dr. Ross also reported other strange phenomena, such as her study door flying open with no apparent cause, the appearance of a dark figure, and the frequent sensation of a cold presence beside her. Convinced that the heads were the source of these terrifying experiences, Dr. Ross quickly rid herself of not only the Hexham Heads, but her entire collection of stone heads. After removing them from her house, the incidents promptly stopped. Amidst these strange occurrences, a man named Desmond Craigie came forward, claiming that he had created the heads in the 1950s as toys for his daughter when they were living at the residence that the Robsons later occupied. He explained in an interview with the Evening Chronicle,
"I made them about 16 years ago. I made the heads from bits of stone and mortar simply to amuse my daughter when she was a little girl. I actually made 3, but one appears to have gotten lost. They were out in the garden for years. I definitely made them. I have been laughing my head off about these heads, and I cannot understand why all this attention is being paid to them."
However, when Professor Dearman of Newcastle University examined the heads, he determined they were not carved but molded, suggesting they were much older and possibly of ancient origin. This contradiction has only deepened the mystery surrounding the Hexham Heads, leaving their true origin and the unexplained phenomena surrounding them unresolved. After Dr. Ross, the Hexham Heads were closely analyzed and sampled. The heads appeared to have vague similarities with several Celtic heads of antiquity, making it understandable to link them to tradition. But any resulting evidence contradicted previous conclusions, unable to date them accurately. They were passed from expert to expert, eventually reaching Southampton University, and then a psychic in 1978, after which they were promptly lost. The exact location, and who has them today, is unknown. The fate of the two Robson boys and their family remains undocumented after they passed the Hexham Heads to Dr. Ross, much like the fate of the artifacts themselves, which seemingly vanished into the void. As archaeological objects, the Hexham Heads raise more questions than they answer. Questions about their origin, how they were made, their intended purpose, and where they are now. These uncertainties cast doubt on their authenticity, making it difficult to view them as anything more than modern curiosities. And that's without even considering the supernatural phenomena surrounding them. Whether these heads are ancient relics imbued with a dark force or simply products of a modern-day hoax, one thing is clear. Their story is as unsettling as it remains unresolved. So, what were these heads really? Were they cursed ancient relics imbued with some dark force? Or were the unexplained phenomena surrounding them merely a figment of human imagination, as Craigie, who supposedly created them, claimed? The answers remain unknown, and the mystery of the Hexham Heads continues to be a subject of fascination and dread. Perhaps some questions are better left unanswered. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please support the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated.